Welcome back to Ozarks Live. Joy gave us a hint of some of what she's found at Culture Counter, and now it's time to see more.
Hey, Joy, I think you had me at like waffles you mentioned. What do they do that makes them so special?
I knew I had you at Waffles, Tom. I knew it. And you know what? We're going to get up close and personal with the waffles and some of the food in a minute. But first, I want you to meet the guy behind Culture Counter. This is the owner, Bryce Gott. Hey, it's good to talk to you.
Yeah, you too.
Yeah, absolutely.
So much for stopping by.
So you were born and raised. You grew up right down the street.
I did. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, you were telling me you went away for a while, went to the West Coast. What brought you back?
The people.
Good.
I really miss the Ozarks camaraderie.
Right.
You know, and family and friends and all the good stuff.
Well, I know in Portland, Oregon, you got exposed to a lot of different foods and cultures and what have you, and I have a feeling you brought the best of that back here for us to enjoy here in the Ozarks. Can I just point out, there's a whole fresh market here. Right over there is one of my favorite things in the world, a salad bar. You don't see a salad bar very often.
Yeah, we make a lot of house-made goodies for the salad bar. We try to keep everything very, very fresh. We use a lot of local greens, a lot of local ingredients, and all across the board.
All across the board they do.
Yeah.
They were telling me about that. If you need some fresh produce, looks like you've got it here, Bryce, as well as some prepared foods.
Correct.
Tell me
yeah.
about some of these.
So the grab-and-go items, actually, we opened during the pandemic in 2020. So the grab-and-go items really stem from that. We weren't able to open the salad bar when we first opened the store.
Right.
There were limitations there. So we started making grab-and-go items with the food that we carry on the shelves.
Gotcha.
We did that as a way to mitigate waste from our market and to upcycle the foods that we have here.
Okay.
So that's kind of the whole culture here at Culture Counter.
At Culture Counter,
Yeah.
is to use everything in one way or the other. There are some more items in here. I'm seeing some Circle B bacon. John and Marina have been on the show several times, and they do amazing work. Seeing some milk, some eggs, some vegan burgers. I notice you also have some breakfast burritos back here that are in a heater. That's a grab-and-go item.
Yep.
Now, one of the things he does is if all the produce, if there's anything left, you make a nice fresh soup out of it.
Right. Yeah. And so, we do that with everything here. Everything on the shelves that's prepackaged is a local product. Everything that we can't find locally, we do find certified organic from a regional distributor. And that's kind of how we use it, how we tend to upcycle and make sure everything's really, really fresh.
Oh, I love a good bowl of soup, especially this time of year. All right, I'm seeing all sorts of stuff through here. There's some prairie pies, so you're helping out some other local folks, which is great.
Exactly.
We've got behind us and behind Chris over here is a whole lot more fresh produce, which is nice because people in this neighborhood want to get their hands on something fresh when they can. Now then, when you come in and you want to order one of those waffles, and again, I want to see one up close, I want to try one, you walk right over to this counter here.
Yep.
Talk about how the Waffle Bar works, Bryce.
So they're fresh made to order. All of our waffle batters are scratch made in-house. They are all gluten-free. We try to make sure that we keep that gluten out of there just so we have options for everybody.
Sure.
That's a growing dietary restriction for a lot of people. And then we have sweet and savory topping combos. So you get to choose your waffle, choose your topping combination. You can always just do a waffle with butter and syrup if you prefer. And then we can modify these to your liking. We can add, we can subtract. Just to make sure that we're, covering all those dietary needs.
When you first moved in here, I heard so much about the window, the walk-up waffle window.
Yeah.
I mean, how did that go over when you first opened the door or opened the window?
It went really well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the waffles have been a huge hit. People, I think, come here specifically for that. It's kind of a unique item.
Very.
And the fact that they are gluten-free has been huge.
Is a huge deal, I
Yeah.
know, and Cammie will appreciate that for sure. Right over here, look at this, local kombucha on tap. Tell me about that.
So Spring Branch Kombucha is a local company. I think they've been doing it for 3 to 5 years. It's a really premium product. I mean, I've had kombucha all over the country, and they do an amazing job of balancing the flavor and the lightness.
Oh, I'm eager to try it. So you've got a lemon hops, raspberry basil, and apple pie. Are you kidding me? You've also got some Springfield Brewing Company root beer.
That's right.
And you can get any of this in a crowler if you want to take some home.
Correct, yeah. Yeah, you can get them in growlers. We also have them in to-go cups. The SBC root beer we had to have on draft for our ice cream, so for floats.
Okay, they do all those fresh ice creams. We're going to see some of that. We're going to take a break real quick, send it back to you guys, but then when you come back, we're going to go over here, find a table, and we're going to show you some of the food. So stay tuned for that. We'll see you shortly.
Can't wait.
Thanks, Joy. Yeah, we'll be right back.